Hey, it's me. I'm back. Ah. But seriously, I have been watching different videos again on YouTube and, just been hearing things through the years about the whole whether or not we really went to the moon type thing. And it's like it's gotten me questioning because, some of the footage that I've seen has and some of the testimonies of people and, people talking about how it was faked and all that stuff, some of it's kind of compelling and you're like, ooh. It makes you think. Whether it's fabricated, I don't know. I don't know about the authenticity of it, but if it is, oh my God, that would be the biggest fraud, or one of the biggest frauds that has been done upon the United States, and not only the United States, the world, because everyone pretty much, or most people, believe that we did go to the moon. And or a majority. I don't know by now how many people believe or not. I'm kind of one of those people. I'm kind of on the fence because I don't know 100% either way. But I do question it because it's mind blowing to think, what if they faked it? And if they did, what are the reasons for doing such a thing? I know they were in a big, huge race, what they call the arms race, with Russia and, other countries, big mega powers out there, China, all that type of thing. The U.S. was wanting, everybody wanted to be the first one to do it. So I can kind of understand the motivation and all that, but why, why would anyone? What's the big deal? I can understand from a perspective of, oh wow, it's fascinating the thought that, oh gosh, we went to another body out there in the universe. That's amazing. I can understand that point of view, but as far as being the first one there, well, whoop-de-doo. You know what I mean? Like, what does it matter if you're first, last, second? I can understand in the perspective if you really went, if everybody is truly, really going to this body out there in the universe, this new discovered land or whatever. I can understand, maybe they're being raced because of many factors of espionage, someone doing something mean or evil to the other country or whatever to knock them out of something or whatever, or another country laying claims on that body or whatever. So, I can understand it from a perspective of that if they actually truly went. But if nobody's going and it's all a big joke and there's no true reality of it, why fake it? Why bother doing it? Why? Is it that you want the world to believe that you're more technologically advanced than you really are, because that gives governments power? If you fool other people into believing that you are 20 years ahead of anything that they could fathom, then, you still got power over them. That encourages fear and, that from the people of, oh no, we better not rise against the government. We better not question the government. We better not blah, blah, blah. Is that what it's all about? Or even other countries, like your enemies, have them say, oh, we better not mess with America because, they already went to the moon. They already blah, 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 But if they truly deep down know better and they're faking it too, what What is the point? I mean, if everybody is faking it and nobody has really been there, what the heck? I mean, seriously, what's the point? It's stupid. The whole thing would be so stupid, or another thought, another theory that's been put out there is that it was to cover the fact that they were wasting millions of dollars, taxpayer dollars, on stupid stuff for the military or whatever, that they were just blowing it and using it for whatever they wanted, and they had to come up with something that would make it look as though they were really, using it for progress and to cover all that up. That may be the main reason, for all we know, if it's fake. If the whole thing is a fake, then I guess to me that would be the reasons. I can't really think of at this point any other reasons. I mean, I'm sure some people out there probably could, but but to me, it just, if it is fake, it's just kind of, that's bad, because, I mean, honestly, I hope and pray that there are many, many, many other planets out there for us to discover, for us to explore. And I want to see the day when that happens. I want to see, people from this country or wherever, people from the world go to these other worlds. I mean, that's the ideas that I have for my animation, all this stuff. I would love to see that happen. And maybe, honestly, for all we know, in reality, that could be happening. There could be key people from different countries that they actually do send to these other worlds out there, and they're just covering it up. Maybe that's the whole point, is to use fake stuff to cover up what's really there. Like maybe make us think Mars is really a barren land, when no, it's probably a thriving metropolis. Or, same thing with the moon. I mean, because there's all kinds of alien footage out there, and I myself have had experience with what I would deem as a UFO, unidentified flying object that came down from the sky. It was a big ball of light, and it had a slit in the center and another bright ball inside of that, and that thing come down eye level with me, and I was amazed. And then it went up, and then it changed colors from variants of red and orange, and then to a black ball. And it seemed like it shrunk. It could have just been from the light, dissipating, but it shrunk to me. And then it shot lickety-split back up into outer space, like in a flash, quicker than anything I've ever seen in my life. So I know something's going on. I don't know if that's human technology or alien technology or what the heck it is. I will always question that for the rest of my life until somebody solves that mystery. But that has changed me. That has changed my whole outlook on everything, because I never, ever, ever thought that I would see something like that. That is like, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I see these things, these lights, move around in the sky all the time. They're everywhere, and they've even come down a little bit closer and just went right over my house. I've got YouTube videos of which you can barely see it. That's the thing about it, is you can see it with your naked eye, but the camera just doesn't pick it up that well. It's like it's very hard, unless you got like some super duper camera, expensive equipment. It's going to be hard to pick it up unless it actually does come down to eye level. But at that time, I didn't have my camera with me. Wouldn't you know it, my luck. And so, I didn't get the opportunity to film it. I'll always regret that, but what can you do? But anyway, the point is, I do believe that there are other existence out there, other beings, other planets. I mean, in my mind, there are perfectly good planets out there that have thriving life on it of all kinds of different forms, from humanoid to spiritual to you name it. I feel like it exists. But my question is, why cover it up? Why would any governments cover that up? Is it somehow, would it change everyone's religious belief? To me, it would only enforce it, because, I still love God. Like, no matter what, I believe that there's a wonderful higher power out there that's over all of it. And to me, even regardless of what people's interpretation of what the Bible says, I believe that if this was proven, that would really, really just make my belief in God even stronger, because I would be like, wow, he not only did he create us, he created all this as well. And especially the whole spiritual thing. I mean, come on, how is Darwin going to explain that away? He can't explain what I saw away. That was beyond, that to me was supernatural. It's just beyond comprehension, really. But so I don't know what, I guess, maybe panic, maybe the governments fear panic, and maybe they fear that they will lose control of the population, because maybe there's some deals going on with other worlds to keep each other from knowing about, or to keep the people in those worlds from knowing about each other. You know what I mean? And, except for maybe the ones that are extremely technologically advanced, and they can come down and do what that thing did to me, and, visit wherever the heck they want to visit, because they've got the power and the ability to do that. But I mean, as far as like humanoid people and planets and whatever, maybe there's some kind of deal going on that their governments have, maybe with our government, that, or our world leaders, that the whole point is to keep the knowledge from spreading about each other. I mean, that's kind of, I know I've kind of touched on this in previous videos, but I mean, it's just kind of something I've been thinking about. And I guess in a way, if that was going on, maybe there would be that's one of the main causes, I guess, to keep us in the dark about the whole moon. Because maybe if they really did go to the moon, there would be like right in your face evidence of other life. And they don't want that, so they want to keep us thinking that there's just nothing there but dirt, sand, whatever. And, same thing with Mars. Even though I would love for us to go to Mars and really explore it and create another world on Mars, like human existence. But for all we know, there could already be other humans on there already. Got everything going. They could be living like we are. We wouldn't know the difference, because we're being told. Anything you look up on Google, anything you look up anywhere, it's the narrative that they want to show you. And just like other people have pointed out, the images that we see of Earth, those are artist illustrations. It's always the same image. Always the same image. The only thing really that changes is the clouds on it, and that barely changes. They keep reusing a very, very old image. And everything that you see, it's artist rendered. It's not the real photograph. Why aren't they showing us real photographs, like when they do fly out into outer space, when they send these satellites with cameras to pass by these things? Why, does all that stuff kind of like just look like artist renderings? Why can't we see the true body? in full detail, like they would capture it. And you know, they keep, like, as far as the color camera, they keep saying they've got this perfect excuse as to why it has to be in black and white. It can't be in color. It has to be in black and white because it holds so much data that it can't hold, you know, our computers can't hold blah, blah, blah. You know, really, I'm not buying that crap. Come on. If they're smart enough to supposedly do this, they can create a camera and they can create files that are not that daggum big to where it will fit just as easily on a hard drive as black and white footage would. See, I'm not buying that. It's like there is a reason why they don't want to show us the true color, real live stream as they're doing it. There's a reason, and I think it's to cover something. I don't know what they're covering up, but it's to cover something. I guarantee you. But I long for the day when the lid gets blowed off the whole thing, and my hope is when that happens, it's to cover up the fact that there are other beings, other existences out there. Because I would love that. I mean, I would love to know that, oh my gosh, there's other humanoid beings out there, you know, and I long for the day when there can actually be true travel in between the Earth and these planets. It would be just like going on vacation or going to another country or something. You know, if they could invent vehicles that can travel faster than the speed of light and get you boom to one planet to the other. Not anything that can be used actually on this planet for travel on this planet by the average person, because I think that would be too much. I mean, honestly, let's be real. There's just some technology that regular people do not need. I mean, because when I think of that, I think of some hillbilly some toothless hillbilly popping in one of those vehicles and creating some havoc. I know, I mean, I don't want to sound bad, but I mean, that's what pops in my head. And those kind of people do not need this kind of technology. I mean, let's be real, you know, so I can understand protecting us from some things. I get that. I totally understand that, you know, because there's some things that humans just cannot handle. And that kind of technology does not need to be leaked out to us, but I would like for it to exist and for us to be able to use it to go to those other planets. Like, if you want to go, you have to go, you know, their way. They put you on this, you know, just like getting on an airplane. You know, not everybody can own an airplane, thank God. You know, thank God you have to go through, you know, flight training and all this stuff before you can hop in an airplane and drive it, so to speak. So, you know, and that's the way this needs to be, is set up to where only certain people are allowed to use it, and they have to be trained in it. They have to know everything and take you to these other planets, maybe through wormholes, however, like a big freeway, a big wormhole freeway throughout the universe that lets you go wherever the heck you want to go in no time. Like, boom, you're there, you know? I think that would be awesome. And I know I'm talking a lot, but my mind just goes wild with these ideas. I think anybody that knows me knows that by now. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It really makes you wonder. And I do wonder, you know, if we are being fooled, why? Why are they doing it? And if they are doing it, I do hope that it is for the right reasons. Otherwise, it would just be a waste. And then everybody would just feel like a fool. Like, why did you bother, you know? And then it's like, well, what do we do now? I mean, would we ever be able to trust the government to really go into outer space or go to the moon or go to Mars or whatever? You know, could we truly trust them to do that? If this ended up being a big fraud, you know, where would we go from there, you know? I don't know. It's something to think about. But like I said, I don't know for sure one way or the other. I haven't made up my mind what I truly believe. But I do want to believe that let's just say, even if they pre-recorded it, like maybe they were afraid that if they did it live, something could terribly go wrong and people would see it and be traumatized, you know. So I can understand maybe pre-recording that part. But even if they pre-record it, hopefully they still did go to the moon. I mean, that would be such a lost opportunity to know that it is possible to go to the moon and they blew it, like they didn't do it. I at least hope at some point, even if they didn't do it on the first 2 or 3 tries, that eventually they did at least go. You know what I mean? Because that would just be, a huge waste. And, it'd be kind of sad in a way.